I will discuss media sanitization techniques based upon NIST Special Publication 800-88 version 1. So basically there are three techniques for media sanitization. First is clear, next one is purge, and the last one is destroy. So in clear and purge, you may reuse the media which you have sanitized by using these two techniques. But in destruction, there is no reusability of the media. Now coming over to the importance of media sanitization. So once an organization does not require a data, then you perform this media sanitization which of the media which contains the data. And furthermore, as part of uh, disposal process um, due to end of life of an IT asset, you perform media sanitization. So you have to see that this media sanitization process is cost effectiveness, because sometimes the cost of uh, media sanitization exceeded the cost of buying the media from the market. Furthermore, you may be subjected to privacy regulations due to which you have to perform the media sanitization to ensure that the data is sanitized and not disclosed. So, after performing any of the techniques of clear, purge, or destruction, you have to validate the sanitization process. Now, first technique is clear, and now here this technique is mostly the least trustworthy. Therefore, it is used for unclassified data or the assets which are being relocated internally to your organization. So it can be software based or hardware based. So first method is zeroing, where you rewrite the entire media with zeros. And then is the overwriting, where you overwrite the addressable space of a media with random bits. So basically you replace the sensitive data with non-sensitive random data, and you can carry out multiple passes of this process. There are certain limitation of clear uh, sanitization technique. So data is recoverable if you use this technique, and furthermore, the damaged media cannot perform this technique. You cannot perform if the media is damaged, and therefore, furthermore, the clearing does not address all or sanitize all spaces of the media, and it is also differs from media to media and depending upon the media size. Furthermore, certain media types, for example, flash memory or SSDs, there is a wear leveling mechanism to avoid reusing the flash memory blocks again and again. And due to this process, certain sensitive data is left on the flash memory even after performing the clearing. Furthermore, the cell phones may not have this feature of rewriting the data. Therefore, you may have to rely on factory reset, and this is reliable if the user interfaces of the cell phones are not facilitating the data retrieval. So this was the clearing media sanitization technique. The next technique is the purge. So this is the used for the classified data, and this asset which contains the classified data is going to be used inside the organization, or maybe the media doesn't contain any classified data, but this media has to be reused by an external organization, and you don't want that your data may be exposed. So this uh, purge also vary media by media type. So first, there are different techniques. For example, override, cryptographic erase, disguising, firmware sanitization commands, and block erase. These are all purging techniques. So in override, this is not for SSDs, and you do carry out multiple passes uh, or combinations of overriding this data. And then is the cryptographic arrays. So it is actually the crypto. It is also called crypto shredding, and it is actually carrying out the full disk encryption on the media and then destroying the keys of this encryption. And this is particularly usable uh, for cloud storage where you do not have physical access to the cloud media, so you can encrypt your data and then destroy the key. So this deguising technique is related to the magnetic storage, and you have to adjust the its strength of this tool as per the coercity of the magnetic media. So coercity is the resistance against demagnetization process. So for that you may refer to device manufacturer, or furthermore this technique cannot be used on flash memory or SSDs, and it is a kind of destruction sometimes, because if the magnetism is, or the degeyser strength is very much, then it can destroy the media as well. The next technique is firmware sanitization commands, and these are very faster because these bypasses the typical read write override commands, and you directly use the firmware commands. One example is this secure erase, and next is the block erasure, and this is particularly related to SSDs. So you electronically erase each block of SSD, and this is internal SSD functions. Now the last one, which is the most trustworthy, is the destruction or physical destruction of the media to destroy the data. So it is used. It is the only trustworthy way of media sanitization and data destruction, and it is used for highly classified data, and it makes the lab retrieval of data infeasible. uh, and if the media has some failure, then you have no other options than to destroy the media. So clearing and purging cannot be used on that media, so you have to destroy the media. Furthermore, if the you have performed clearing and purging but this cannot be verified, then there is no other option uh, but you have to destroy the media. So this is very expensive process and requires special tools. And if you have outsourced this thing to any authorized destruction provider, then you have to carry out SLAs, with the vendor to ensure the data security and insurance of the data in case of any disclosure of the data. For the same reason, due to the risk of disclosure or the fear of disclosure, the service provider have mobile units and they carry out this process on your site to avoid the risk of data transportation or disclosure. Now, there are certain techniques which ensures complete destruction. So these are these require special capabilities and human resources, and these should be performed securely, and safety of individuals should be also ensured. And these are the disintegration, pulverizing, and melting the media. So in this integration, the hard drive is disintegrated into 2 pieces, and you carry out the bulk destructions of different hard drives in order to mix the hard drives so that no one can reconstruct these hard drives. And this is useful for CDs and DVDs and also for SSDs. Then is the pulverizing and also the melting of the hard drive. And the last one is incineration. So you burn the hard drive into ashes. And this is particularly useful for Blu-rays and also for SSDs. So these are the techniques for complete destruction of the media. Then is the shredding. So shredding is mostly used for flexible media like floppy drives, CDs, DVDs, or smart cards. So while shredding the floppy disk, you remove the metal hub and the cover, and you shred ensure that the shredding is performed and the thing is shredded into small pieces, and there is an assurance of non reconstruction of the media proportion to the confidentiality requirement of the data which is maintained on that media. And you also mix different non-sensitive shredded materials so that it cannot be reconstructed. Then there are certain techniques which do not ensure complete destruction but partial destruction of the media, and lab recovery can be used using specialized tool to recover the partial data. These are bending of the flexible media, cutting it, or making holes. So the portion which is not destroyed can be retrieved or recovered by using lab techniques. So this was all. Thank you.